what up? Is your boy Mr. Freestyle 340.
Aquí es para mi gente de todo un poco. Dímelo,
De
Freestyle.
todo un poco. Tenemos un special guest in the building.
Yep.
Today, he got a crazy story to tell us. Y lo van a oír aquí primero on De Todo Un Poco. My man, John. John, introduce yourself. Tell the people a little bit about yourself.
What's going on? My name's John. I'm a recovering addict alcoholic. And I'm here to tell my story.
Damn, right there alone tells you that we about to go in for a deep one. You know what I mean? Tell us a little bit about yourself, John. Where you from? Obviously, rep Philly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Originally I was born and raised in Upper Chi, which is in Delaware County, right outside of Philadelphia. I grew up there my whole life, and then when I was about 27, 28, I moved out to Montgomery County, and then eventually that led me to Berks.
So go Birds.
Go Birds.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds, dickhead.
I got a lot of Cowboy fans. You know, myself, I'm a Raven fan, but you know, the season is a little scary right now.
Right there with you,
Yo,
bro.
it's a little scary right now. So
Fucking Eagles are fucking up.
yeah. So
Must be the Birds thing. you know?
yeah. I don't know. It's the weather. It's the weather.
Must be the weather,
Yeah,
bro.
it's the weather. So tell us about your situation that you went through. What was the addiction? What was it about, man?
So I think that a lot of people don't understand addiction, alcoholism. They pretty much go hand in hand with each other. I believe I was born an addict, and I told my parents this at a young age. I was heavily medicated. I had very bad ADHD, and my mom and dad, through the doctor, his advice, had me heavily medicated on ADHD medication,
Like downers.
Strattera, Vyvanse, Ritalin, amphetamines, that type of stuff. And I think that led to my downfall in 2018. 2018 is when I picked up my first drug. I drank before that. I was a social drinker, but my drinking it went down quick once I picked up a drug. My drug of choice at that time was cocaine. I became a coke addict, and then that progressively turned into methamphetamines, which is like cocaine on steroids. And from there, man, my life just went downhill. So, talking about going 0 to 100 real quick. You pick up that shit, your shit will get, your life will go downhill real quick.
Yeah, you wired up.
So
was you a heavy drinker before? You said you.
I believe I became an alcoholic before becoming an addict. Go hand in hand.
So do you think that? Sorry to cut you off, but do you think that alcohol led you to that drug?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I've talked about this before. I had a very bad sex addiction, and that goes hand in hand with drinking and drugging. I became a sex addict before I even became a drug addict or an alcoholic, right? And I think a lot of people are scared to talk about that. I'm not, because I've helped a lot of other people out talking about that issue and that problem. But yeah, that addiction came first out of all of them, and then it progressively turned worse into worse things with drinking and drugging. But I do believe I became an alcoholic before I became an addict. Yes.
Wow. So obviously there's things that trigger these specific addictions, you know what I mean? And obviously you mentioned that being that you grew up on medication, heavily medicated, that might have triggered your addiction. Was there anything else that you think that might have triggered your addiction into,
That's a good question. People, places, and things.
family issues?
Not so much family issues, but definitely people I was hanging out with. Not good people. People that didn't give a fuck about me.
Yeah, influence.
Yeah.
Bad
In
influence.
my life. People that sold me drugs, I thought they were my friends. And then when I went to rehab, not a single one of those people called me to see how I was doing.
They don't look for you.
No, they don't give a fuck, man. There's people, I'll never say a word to them again, right? The only people that really reached out to me at that time when I did go to rehab was my mom, my dad, my intermediate family, aunts, uncles. My sponsor, Jimmy. Shout out, Jimmy. Saved my life. But, yeah, people's places and things is a real thing in addiction. If you're going to associate yourself with people to get high, you know, coke, meth, heroin, fentanyl, you're going to put yourself in those places, North Philly, Kensington. I'm pretty sure up here it's pretty bad in Reading.
Yeah, it's terrible here.
If you're going to hang out in those areas, it's only a matter of time before you're going to get high.
Hell yeah.
And that's just the facts.
It's just the people you get around. And
yeah.
I agree with you 100%.
The other thing is I want to mention is my father was in law enforcement, right? He was a cop for 30 plus years. He didn't understand addiction. So when I fell into addiction, you know, at that time, man, those cops, they looked at addicts as criminals, right? So I give him shout out to my dad. I give him a major props. He took the time to understand addiction, you know. I was also the black sheep in my family. I always thought that I was fucking up when I was younger. That also triggered me. You know, my brothers had successful lives. They still do now. I mean, I was able to bounce back, but I definitely stumbled over my own feet down, you know, when I was younger. So
dope. Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, man. But I know going through these things, you know, seeing people going through, and myself, you know, I'm addicted to a few things, you know what I mean, like in life. But you know, there's things that you speak about and things that you don't speak about, you know what I mean. And there's things that, you know, you could control, some addictions that you could control, or there's ways of getting out of those addictions, you know what I mean?
Right.
Being it that is simple or something dramatic, you know.
People are addicted to food.
Yeah.
People are addicted to shopping.
Yeah.
People are addicted to spending money.
It is.
You know?
It is. There's a few. That's why I said there's a few things that we're not gonna mention those things.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But what was the point that you realized that you had a problem and you wanted to deal with that problem?
2019. I lost my job. I was facing criminal charges. You know, I was basically homeless, man. I drove my life into the ground, and my parents always told me the only way I was ever going to learn is if I drove my own life into the ground. Let me crash and burn to wake up and realize, like, you know, you're fucking your life up, dude. So in 2019, I went into rehab. Well, back up a little bit. I lost my job. My parents found out. I got into some trouble, and that's kind of when I woke up and I was like, I gotta make a change, man. And I'm not gonna lie, the next 3-4 years, I struggled, man. I struggled heavily trying to get clean. I was also in a very abusive relationship with somebody who basically used my addiction against me. So I had to overcome that as well. But in 2019 was the breaking point. Another thing I don't talk about, that's very, very sensitive to me is I have a son and a daughter I don't see because of addiction, man. Yeah, and it used to wear on me in the past, right? It used to wear me down. The guilt and shame that came along with that, and which is also why I struggled to get clean, because I would, you know, use that as an excuse to go out and get high to deal with the pain. But I overcame that, and that's a big thing. You know, one day, hopefully, you know, I'll reconnect with them down the road, and I'll be able to explain my story to them. But yeah, 2019, that was kind of the breaking point for me. So,
man, I'm pretty sure you had to go through some programs and, you know, meetings and probably some rehabilitation.
Yeah, went to rehab. In 2022, I met my sponsor, Jimmy. He's my best friend. He took me through the steps, the 12-step program in AA. It made me take a deeper dive into my life, my character defects, my resentment towards people. And my number one resentment was myself, man. I fucking hated myself. Yeah. And I think that was a big problem of it. But once I went through the 12 steps properly, like thoroughly, did like a thorough 12-step program, that's when I was able to get clean.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Jimmy, man, for realizing that, you know, there's people in need and that want to help, you know what I mean? Like,
I remember sitting in RCA Devon, which is on the main line, Delaware County, and I was just sitting there after the meeting was done. This man takes time out of his night to come up to me and introduce himself to me. Asked me where I'm from, and he asked me if I had a sponsor, and I said, nah, dude, I don't. And he offered to sponsor me that day and help me out.
Man, that's what's up, man. You gotta appreciate people like that, man, because as you know, it's a cold world out here, and you know, people obviously don't give a fuck about other people. You know what I mean?
Nah.
But there are people out here that still
care.
do care about, you know, individuals that going through some tough times in life, and you know, there's tough times out here. Like,
a lot of people are just after themselves. Man.
Yeah, you got a question, Efra?
Tengo una pregunta para él. Eso de los programas que él estuvo, ellos tienen que al principio firmar unos papeles o cumplir un tiempo exacto o ellos tienen el derecho de en cualquier momento decir, you know what, ya no quiero estar aquí, yo me voy.
Yeah.
Tienen tienen ese beneficio. Lo digo porque tengo una situación con un amigo mío que su mamá me dice que lo ha tratado de ayudar.
Sí, estoy seguro que sí,
¿Sí?
que tienen, ellos pueden hacer lo que quieran, pero le voy a preguntar.
Yeah.
He asked, so these programs that you had to go through, were there like strict programs that you had, like it was, how can I explain it? Like
rules.
Extensive rules. Was it something mandatory for you to do?
Yeah, so in 2019, I went to MVP, which is a recovery program in Delaware County, and it was very, very strict to start out. Like, you had to be, you couldn't go out past 7 o'clock. You couldn't see your family for like 90 days or something like that. You always had to have somebody with you, that type of stuff. You had to do chores around the house. If you didn't do your chores, they wrote you up, and you had to do a consequence for not listening, that type of stuff. I was never mandated to go to a program, never court mandated. I went on my own will. But those programs are out there, and they a lot of people like think they're bullshit. They'll save your life. If you work that program thoroughly, it will save your life.
Yeah. But there's programs that, you know, they do help people, but at the same time, it's not like you said, you went on your own will. There's people that do want help and go on their own will, but there's programs that they're just there, and they don't care if you leave or not. You know what I mean? They're just there to help you. You know what I mean?
But the number one thing, and speaking on that, the number one thing in addiction is, if you want to get clean, you gotta get clean for yourself. I said this a million times. You cannot get clean because your children want you to get clean. You can't get clean because your wife wants you to get clean. Your parole officer, probation officer, the court.
Because you want it.
You have to want to get clean, and like once you get clean, dude, your fucking life gets so much better. Like everything gets better. You get everything back. You know, there's a saying: you can give up everything in life to be controlled by one simple thing, or you can give that one thing up to get everything back. And that's what I did.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
So, I see. You know what I mean? You're a fit person. You come into the barbershop all the time, making man noise, you know what I mean? But
I don't know that.
No. He my guy. He my guy.
We be talking shit, bro.
I don't know that.
He coming to the barbershop. We bid.
We've been back and forth.
He's an Eagle fan, so we talk sports. You know what I mean?
Good.
He be like, "Go Cowboys!"
Yeah.
Like, nah, fuck Cowboys.
Yeah, but you look very good for, you know, how you from recovering from that addiction. You know what I mean?
God. Yeah.
And how many years now that you've been clean and sober?
So 2023, it was one of the worst relapses of my life. I remember getting high, running off, turning my phone off. I like to isolate. I like to be by myself and not be bothered. And I remember sitting in my work truck crying, and I called my Aunt Loretta, and then I called my mom, and then the last person I called was my sponsor. Right, me and him didn't talk for a good period of time, and you know, I called him on the first call, and he picked up, and I said, "Bro, like, are you still sponsoring?" And I'm crying to this man. Like, it takes a lot for a man to cry to another man, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Are you still sponsoring?" Like, I need fucking help, dude. Like, my life is I'm going backwards. So that day, I made, you know, I brought up 2019, but 2023, October 19th of 2023 was the turning point where I've been clean since then. And I basically, that's when I made the push to, to turn my life around for good. And I'll tell you what, the past 2 years, the past 2 years of my life have just been fucking awesome. Like to get a career, get a career, like a trade, work, be in my children's lives, be a present father, be around my family. This might sound crazy, but my mom and dad never trusted me. I couldn't go to their house and stay at their house because I used to rob my fucking deaf mom for money to feed my addiction. Now, let that sink in, bro. I would rob my deaf mother to fucking feed my addiction. That's fucked up. Now I can go stay at my parents' house whenever I want, and they don't have to worry about me stealing or robbing them. And that's a fucking good feeling. That's such a good feeling, just to have that fucking sense of security. That my parents trust me. It's all about the trust.
Hell yeah. That's big. Efra, what you got over there, Efra?
Yo quería preguntarle si el miedo, porque a veces tenemos miedo, si sintió miedo de no poder cambiar, de no poder salir donde estaba.
He said, have you ever been scared of not being able to come out of that addiction?
Yes. That's a very good question. All my meth users or ex-meth users out there, it's one of the hardest drugs to get off of. Man.
It's a fucking crazy.
Hardest shit to get off that drug.
I've seen
and, like,
people
I don't look
go
like
down.
a fucking crackhead, right?
Yeah.
Like people look at me, they're like, "Wow, you were on drugs." Yeah, I just never had that, drug addict look. But meth, you will get stuck on that shit. And there was a time where I thought, wow, like I lost my job. Like my parents pay for my car. My parents pay for my fucking cell phone. I don't have a job, right? Like I'm about to lose everything. And like, what's the point of even trying to fucking get my life back together? And that's where I felt stuck. Like, let's just keep getting high. Fuck it.
You was on fucking shit.
I was on the fucking shit, right?
Damn.
And that's, him asking that question is a very good question, man. Yeah, and that's the problem nowadays is like these people down in North Philly and Kensington getting high off dope or fucking fentanyl. They're so far gone. Like, they have no fucking hope.
They're lost.
And it's God, dude. It's a heartbreak. It's a very, very heartbreaking thing to see because that's somebody's daughter, somebody's son, dude.
Yeah, somebody's child.
And yes, it is real. When I was in addiction, man, I felt stuck.
And I've seen some episodes on with people on drugs, you know what I mean? Like
fucking their skin's getting eaten alive.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up, man.
Yeah. Or fighting one another over drugs and shit, you know what I mean? Like it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. What's something, right, that you would want people to understand about addiction?
Okay, so addiction, at first it's a choice, man. I chose to pick up a drug and get high. It does progress into a disease, and it becomes, and that's not for everybody. There's people that get into car accidents that get prescribed painkillers, perks, Vicodins,
and they get hooked.
Oxys, and they get hooked, bro. And that's not their fault.
Yeah.
And then now they're down North Philly getting high off dope or Fetty, right? Like that's a real thing. But addicts aren't criminals either. People steal to survive in addiction, right? That's what they do. They commit crimes to feed their addiction or just to fucking be able to eat, right? For the people out there that don't understand addiction, it's a disease, and you need to treat each case differently. Not everybody's the same in addiction. There's a lot of people out there that say, you made the choice to get high, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, but like I said, man, that shit progresses. It gets worse and worse. And if I were to go out there and pick up tonight, after I leave here, you start off right where you left off. It's as simple as that, man.
I already know. I got friends and that they be popping them the irks, and both at first it started off as they were prescribed from the doctor or a back pain or something.
Yeah.
Then that back pain, then they tell you, oh, I'm only taking it for my back because every now and again turns into a every day.
Yep.
You like, yo, what's going on with you? Like, but you see the difference in their demeanor and their character, and they start switching up,
acting shady.
Yeah, when you start seeing that, you recognize this and you approach them, they take a defense as well too. You know what I mean? Because they already know, like, oh, he's judging me.
He's judging.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a true statement.
But it's not that we're judging. we're just trying to be
Understand.
helping one and understanding.
Yep.
Like,
Simple
listen,
as
man, I understand you going through your addiction. I'm just here to be a friend to you and let you know, like, yo, I'm here anytime you want to bounce back out of that.
Yeah. Yep.
But
Some people, they don't want that help.
they don't take that. Yeah, they want to continue in their little journey, and they in their head, and it's sad, bro. It's sad.
Yep. Once you isolate and get in your head, man, they say a relapse happens before a relapse.
Yeah.
Once you start thinking about getting high in your head, it's over.
He asked, by you changing your way of life, you know, becoming from being an addict to bettering yourself, you feel that betterment made you a better person?
Oh my God. Yes. Number one thing is being a better father. I mean, just keep it real. Like when I had Julian, my 4-year-old, I was still struggling at that time, and like, you know, I was not a good dad. I just, you know, he never saw the addict side of me when I was with him. But there's a lot more things that I could have done at that time to step up and be a dad when he was a baby, like a newborn, you know, 6 months, a year. Just, you know, getting clean, like, just made me a better person to other people. Like I said, I was in a relationship that was very toxic with my, you know, another person. The person I'm with now, Jen, my girlfriend, I love her to death. I treat her well, man, and that's one of the things that, you know, I never thought I would be able to do, to treat a woman, you know, the right way.
Word.
And she sees that, and that's what makes our relationship so great, is because I treat her with respect. I treat her the right way. You know, I'm nice to her. You know, I'm kind to her. Man, the addict side of me.
So you change everything. You change your attitude. Your
attitude, everything.
Everything.
When I was getting high, dude. I'm like 245 right now, man. I was like fucking 190, strung the fuck out.
Yeah.
I looked like dog shit, man. You know, my discipline, my appearance, being on a disciplined schedule, going to the gym every day, waking up at fucking 5:30 in the morning, get my boys ready for daycare, leave my house by 6 o'clock in the morning, drop them off at daycare at 6:30 to be at work by 7.
Yeah.
Like that, do that every fucking day.
Yeah.
Takes discipline. So I got the discipline back in my life.
And I know
the gym helped you.
And the gym helped.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
The
gym helped.
That's good.
Yes.
And I know in the program, you learn, because there's a method, a 90-day method,
Yes.
that you gotta stay consistent, do that whatever it is that you're doing, whether it be going to the gym, whether it be putting on socks in the morning, or whatever it is.
Brushing
Once
your
you
teeth.
once you do that for 90 days, you'll break a cycle that it's something repetitive, you know what I mean? And you create a habit now.
Yes, and they call this the 90 and 90 in the program. 90 meetings in 90 days. Go to a meeting every day, no matter what you have going on in your life. Get to a fucking meeting every day for 90 days. Now, what you do after the 90 days, that's on you. But you should continue to go to a meeting every day after 90 days, because there's a lot of people in addiction that'll, you know, go to a meeting every day, you know, 90, and then once that 90 days is over, they stop. They stop trying. They stop giving a fuck. And then they relapse.
Right.
And it happens all the time. And I was guilty of that all the time.
¿Tiene algo, Efra?
No tengo nada ahora mismo.
Well, I was going to ask you too, to define success in recovery, but you mentioned everything about your kids and, you know, being a great father and a good partner in a relationship. So obviously you laid it all down right there for me. You know what I mean?
It's not, man. Listen, recovery ain't a fucking 3-month program. It ain't a 6-month program. It's a program for life.
It's a for life thing.
That's it.
So what do you do now? I mean, other than go to the gym and stuff to keep you, you know, away from thinking the thoughts of addiction or
Well, I work a lot, so I mean, work
keeps you busy.
Keeps me busy. Takes up a lot of my time. You know, going to the gym. You know, going to the gym keeps my mind off of getting high. I talk to my sponsor every day of my life. I try to. I try to reach out to him and have a conversation with him. As far as the meetings go, I try to go to a meeting here and there. I don't go to a meeting every day. I just don't have the time to do it. But once I hit a year clean and a year sober, and then hitting 2 years, like life gets a lot easier to the point where like, man, I'm not even thinking about getting high.
Bet.
And people, places, and things. I mean, I got a small circle of people that care about me, and I keep it that way.
That's what's up, man. That's how you do it. You know what I mean? We're gonna try to teach Efra a little bit more English, so for the next podcast, so we could.
I'll try.
You know what I mean?
Next time.
Pero tenemos un par de cositas que decirle a la gente. ¿Qué tienes ahí, Efra?
Bueno, les quiero presentar lo nuevo que está saliendo ahora mismo en Jackie Creation and More. Así que mi gente, mírenlo. Aquí los barberos de Reading,
¿Qué es eso?
PA,
¿Qué es
de
eso?
cualquier, pueden pedir sus órdenes en Jackie Creation. Esto es, ya tú sabes, aquí puedes poner el teléfono y salen las redes. Si por ejemplo, si el cliente te quiere seguir o conoces a alguien en la calle, no en la calle, en la barbería y quieren seguirte en las redes, tú le pones ahí el teléfono encima. O si quieren pagarte, tú rápido no le tienes que decir el Cash App, sino lo pones encima y rápido sale tu página de Cash App, de cualquiera, de Instagram, TikTok, de lo que tú quieras poner. Aquí puedes poner el logo tuyo, ¿me entiendes? De todo un poco. Así que mi gente, pasó barbero de Reading.
Qué duro, qué
¿Ya tú
duro.
ordenaste la tuya?
Sí, ya yo ordené la mía, pero que lo digan en inglés, dijeron allá, Joel.
That's hard.
That's hard. Pero no on
Not
the
again.
where we could find
time.
this, where we could find this
En
o
Jackie Creation, mi gente.
hacer una orden, poner una orden a
Búscala
Jackie
por
Creation.
Instagram. Y ya le ponemos
Sí,
el link.
el link va ahí mismo, mira, aquí mismo. Make sure you click the link and go check Jackie out. Put your order in. She got a whole lot more. El llavero, el llavero. También. She does t-shirts. She got the keychain. You could put your Instagram information on it, and when you walk in, if you don't have your card, you don't have you don't have a business card or anything, there you go right there.
Lo ponen las llaves y ya tú sabes. De
Sí.
todo un poco, mi gente. Así que sigan apoyando.
A Jackie Creation, you already know. Pero, ¿qué está pasando ahí? Que yo veo que tienes algo al lado de ti.
Yo le tengo un regalito a Joel.
Un regalito
Sí,
a Joel.
a Joel.
¿A qué es eso?
LeBron.
Una bolita ahí.
Una bolita para...
Una bolita ahí de LeBron.
Sí, si él abre esta bolita y sale el muñequito de LeBron, tú lo vas a ver contento. Toma.
¿Y si encuentra a Jordan adentro?
Ahí, bueno, lo va a ver triste. Llorando
Va a llorar, va a llorar.
Va a llorar.
No creo, no
Solo
creo.
lo abre ahorita. Mira. Lo está tocando.
Jordan's in there. Jordan.
It's a toy.
Jordan's in there. Pero nada, mi gente, you here. We just went through another episode of De Todo Un Poco with my man John. We appreciate you for coming out.
You got it, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Means a lot.
This is a story everybody needs to hear. And people that are going through situations in life, you know, there's always help, and it's up to you to make that effort to go and get yourself help, man. And there's people out here to help you out, so
Yep.
take advantage of that. Efra,
De todo un poco. Así que, mi gente, llévatelo.